What's up, Tifos? Danny Brams here with another edition of Decoding the Presser. It is the Charlotte Soccer Show. It's our YouTube property, if you will, that franchise, I guess would be a better word. And we got a big one today because Adilson Malanda has signed a new contract. He's here with the Crown through 2026, pending any developments, with an option for 27. Absolutely insane. And then Charlotte is going on the road to take on the #1 team in the league, Cincinnati, FC Cincinnati, I should say. And it's going to be a long one. Dean talked for a while today. Addy talked for a little bit today. So let's get right into it. I'm not going to waste time. Let's start with Adilson Malanda, the man of the hour, everybody's favorite center back, maybe the best center back in Major League Soccer. We heard people saying that today. So let's hear from him.
I talked earlier in the year. You were very aware of all the attention from Europe and things of that nature. What does it mean, and what is it about this club that made you want to stay right here?
First of all, I'm very happy for my new contract extension. And yeah, we talked about it between me and the club. And I think it's the right thing to do for the moment. We are in a good season. We want to achieve some big thing this year. And I think I want to show also to the club that I'm 100% with the team. And also they did a good step for me. So no, I think we are just working together in the right direction. I think the club tried to build a very good team to be competitive. And no, I think it's a good thing for me to just keep going. And I'm just very happy about that.
How comfortable?
First thing I got to comment on is the smile on Addy's face. Love Adilson's smile. He's very, positive, happy guy with most things, and you can hear it in his answer there. He thinks Charlotte is the place for him for this point of his career. Like, that kind of loyalty is going to endear him to fans, that kind of belief in the project here, belief in what Dean's doing. He's still a young man, and his future may ultimately be in Europe. He may not see out this full contract. The option may not really be an option by the time we get around to 2027. But this is a guy that a lot of fans were talking about, oh, we might lose him this winter transfer window. He might be gone, before the next season starts as a midseason reinforcement for some European club. And so to be able to lock him up and know that he's going to be here the rest of this year, going to be here all next year, we can assume, it's a beautiful thing. And we love you, Addy. Let's keep going. Have
you been, even maybe more so than you would have thought, with the city and with the club, just kind of living here and being here?
No, it's really nice. The environment is really good. I mean, there is nothing to say. The people are nice. We have an amazing fans crowd. We are just enjoying our time here with the team and then trying to do the best because I think the club wants to grow up, and that's the goal. So no, I think just we have to do the thing at the right moment, and I think, yeah, at that time, at that moment, it was the right thing to do, and we will see next.
I know many with the club were...
You hear that, Tifos? He credits you. The environment, the fans, the support, that is a huge chunk as to why Adilson Malanda is staying in Charlotte. It's because of good people like you and me, my friends.
Hoping that you would get some recognition for the All-Star game doesn't happen. How much of that is kind of a motivation of, okay, if you guys don't recognize me here, I just need to make myself play that game even more?
No, as you said, every day we have to show how good we can be. So, yeah, of course, there is how can I say that? No, I'm not thinking a lot about MLS All-Star. No, just being focused on the regular season. The rest is just a bonus. So, no, I will just keep going to show, and then no problem with that.
All-Star game? What All-Star game? We're not worried about that.
Where do you think you've kind of grown the most? And obviously a much different situation. Now in these last 2 years, you have more professional appearances than you did before you came here. Just where do you think you've kind of grown the most as a player or person?
Getting experience. That's the most important thing. Playing games. That's the only way that you can grow. And no, I think it's just just the way that I need to take, and then I'm just following it. So no, I'm just focused on the season, and then we will see what's come next.
And what do you think you've learned the most under
Very direct,
Dean
very
Smith
to the
this
point.
year,
He's
especially,
focused.
especially with you guys having the second best defense in the league right now?
No, we are really, really stronger defensively. And I think, yeah, it's a big part of the coach that we play, like the way that we play now. So, no, I'm very happy about that. And we are working every day to getting even better. So just keep going in that way. And, and we'll see. Thank you, mate.
Love the smile. Love to see Addy's just smiling there for sure. I'll pop it back up. What a dude. It's pretty common when you're I've been to these media availabilities, and it's pretty common when guys are there giving their press conferences or whatnot that other players will be walking by to go to training and stuff like that, and they'll give the guy a little grief. And so you could see someone was yelling at him there, and it's a beautiful thing. But what a beautiful smile for Addy Malanda. He's almost like he's one of our own at this point. He's not a full homegrown, but we went and found him in League Two, and he had chances. Zorn was talking today to some other reporters on the scene about how there was possibility, there was discussions of even a top 5 leagues come looking for this kid. I think they definitely will be in 2026. So he's one of our own for now, and we love you, Addy. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup for signing. Can't wait to see what we do the rest of this year. Leagues Cup is coming up, obviously. And a tall task for Addy Malanda and the entire Charlotte FC defense now with FC Cincinnati on the way. So we will move on to the second half of our scheduled program here. Dean Smith, and it's much more than a half because this guy is he's got a lot to say. This might be a long one, but let's listen in and let's go.
No, Patrick obviously will miss the game. And Scott's not available at the moment as well. He's discussing options elsewhere at the moment.
Is that something that, from Scott's perspective, playing time was an issue, or is there something?
Yeah, no, listen, me and Scott are cool. We get on really well together. He's at a stage in his career where he wants to be starting games and needs to be starting games, and I can't guarantee anybody a start, and I think he's had some options that have come up that he wanted to pursue, so we've, allowed him to go and pursue them.
Adilson signs his new contract.
We will miss you, Scotty.
Today. What has he meant to you, and the structure and kind of the way the back line really kind of come together?
Well, this for me comes from the top of the club, where Dave and Nicole want to be successful as a club, and to be successful you have to keep the best players at the club, and we've managed to speak to Addy. People from outside the club will probably look at it and see ourselves trying to protect ourselves in case somebody comes in for him. That is not the case, and that has been never discussed. The reason we've done it is to keep one of the better players at our club so we can be successful in the future.
In terms of
that is a great answer from Dino, because everybody's talked about the potential transfer. Oh, he's too good, he might be leaving, Europe's going to come calling. And Dean said it's not about other clubs coming in. He says it's about us trying to be the best we can be. I love Dino for answers like this. He always seems to know the right thing to say in these situations, and that's another great example.
Patrick, I know the options are limited. Will it be a Yuri and kind of Tiger battle over the course of this week?
Yeah, it could be. They're both players that can play up there. Obviously, Kerwin can play up there as well. But I think he's playing pretty well at the moment on the side. So it's going to be it can be a battle between them two, that's for sure.
Do you foresee yourself taking anybody from Legacy up to Cincinnati with you, just because you're with no Scott, no Patrick, and some of the other injuries you might be down to numbers?
No, our numbers are okay. I mean, we've Nick Scardina's been back training back with us this week. Brandon Cambridge has been back training with us as well this week. So, that's both positive news for us. That Nick's been playing really well. Forbes has been scoring goals as well for Legacy, and Brandon's on the comeback trail as well. So we've got some good numbers in the squad.
How much has Legacy?
Love to hear that mention of Brandon Cambridge. I saw him at training the other day, working a little bit in some drills, lightly. He's on the comeback trail. Make sure you check down in the feed. We talked to Brandon a couple weeks ago as he prepares to make his MLS return, and he is an awesome young man, and just absolutely loved hearing from him. Always trying to get, who might start, who's going to start in Patrick's place. For me, it's Yuri Tavares. I am on record in our most recent recorded audio episode on the podcast feed that I think it's got to be Yuri Tavares. The club sent Yuri out to talk to media on Wednesday. Just as, that to me was a sign that he's certainly leading in the mix to be the starter. But in classic Dean fashion, he's never going to fully give it away, and he definitely is keeping his cards close to his vest.
He helped guys like Nick and Jelani, and I know George got some minutes as well. It's become a real resource for you guys.
Yeah, it is. It's really important. I mean, I think that's one of the big differences, and one of my frustrations, I suppose, is that it's really difficult to organise matches for players who aren't playing. You've got the legacy games, but you don't, because clubs are so far apart. You can't kind of get games and arrange games for players to get match minutes. And when you don't get match minutes, then they're coming in, and it takes 2 or 3 games to get into the swing of things and get some rhythm. So that's probably been a frustration of mine, but it's been really good that we've been able to use the legacy for some of the younger players. Bill Taloma and Jalen got a game the other week as well, which unfortunately was weather delayed and weather cancelled. But it's been a big resource for us to use, that's for sure.
I know you've
got to say, not a huge fan of seeing Bill Tuiloma playing with the legacy. I don't necessarily want him to start over Privs or Addy either, but it's, he's not the type of guy that needs to be playing in developmental games. I know Dean talks about he's just trying to keep him fresh, so I get that. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Tim Ream soon with Scotty Arfield leaving. Is Tim Ream on the way? If Ream does come in, I think that kind of spells the end of the line for Bill Tuiloma at Charlotte, but we shall see. And I'm surprised there's still no talk about Aaron Johns, who is just scoring goals after goals for Crown Legacy, but so far his name's not really been mentioned as coming up to the first team.
This familiar refrain of you got to take your chances when they come. Are you starting to kind of see that? And again, I know you won't know this until you see them play again on the game field, but do you see that kind of sense of urgency sinking in with the players?
Yeah, I mean, I look back to that Miami game, and I thought it was one of our best performances, and we could have done to Miami what Cincy done to Miami if we'd have taken our chances. The goalkeeper's made a really good save from Patrick. Patrick's hit the post. He's put one over the bar second half. We've had other chances. I thought it was one of our 90-minute performances that unfortunately, got taken away.
You've been very
Got to say, I don't necessarily agree with Dean there. Cincinnati beat Miami 6-1, and there was a red card at one point later in the game that knocked Miami down to 10 men. But we did play a good 90-minute game there against Miami, but I don't think we were anywhere near threatening a 6-1 win. We maybe could have got 3 goals, and I really wish we would have, but to lose the game and then say, we could have won 6-1, that's a little dicey for me.
Road recently, aside from the Houston visit, what's the mentality ahead of a 3-match road trip to close out the period before Leagues Cup?
Well, I said to the players, early in the week that, we played into Miami, who were leading the standings, I think. We're now going to Cincinnati, who are leading the standings, and we've got Columbus on Wednesday, who if they win the games in hand, could be probably leading the standings as well. So all games are tough, but we've proved to ourselves already with the Miami game, that we can match the top teams. We've already played Cincy and Columbus at home, so I think it's an opportunity for us to again draw another line in the sand, but away from home.
Yeah.
4 points out of those games from Sin City and Columbus at home, thanks, in part to a Derek Jones sleeper agent red card. But we can hang with these tough teams, these top teams. But man, this is a really tough stretch of the season, and we're staring down the barrel of a potential first real losing streak of the season if we can't try to get some points out of Ohio. So I hope it happens for sure.
Had 2 pretty cool things happen yesterday, personal to you. Ollie Watkins scores for England, and your home stadium's got 70,000 for a continental semifinal. What'd you think of just the day of football yesterday?
Well, we had a really good training session in the morning as well. So yeah, it was a good day all round. I went home and watched the England game on my own. I didn't want any outside noise and just concentrate on it. Turned the commentary off and just watched it on my own. And Ollie Watkins has scored an unbelievable goal, but it doesn't surprise me because it's not an instinctive goal. That's sheer years of practice and hard work, and he got his rewards for it. So, I was inundated and still am with media outlets from the UK wanting to speak about Ollie Watkins at the moment. So I'm really pleased for him. And then I went and visited the stadium last night to what was a wonderful, first of all, very good game, which I really enjoyed. 100 mile an hour, two teams going for it, a referee letting so many things go, and also becoming a medical practitioner at one stage, I think, as well. But the atmosphere was tremendous, and it was great to see so many people there.
So confirmed, even Dean Smith hates the Fox Sports commentators on the Euros. That doesn't surprise anyone. Kind of funny to watch the match in silence, but good on Dino for watching an England win. Good for him. Football's coming home for sure. He mentioned the good training session in the morning. I had been there. Things did look good to me too, so I'm glad it continued even after the media viewing portion was over. And let's see if anyone asks him about the fight in the stands after that Copa match, because it was a great match. It was awesome. Great showcase of a certain type of soccer here, and Charlotte showed out for sure. But I don't know if we're going to go any deeper on that fight, if we're going to change the subject here.
Yeah, I know you talked a bit about the Miami game. Just kind of heading into that
Looks like
extended
changing
break
the
and now
subject.
coming back into this week, is there anything you tried to drill down into your players just about what you took from the performance going into, like you mentioned, a tough shift?
Yeah, we spoke about a lot of the good things that we did during the game. How we built up, how we exposed some of their, these so-called deficiencies that they have, how we created our chances, how we won the ball back at times and counter-pressed really well. But the first thing after the game was to give them a few days off as well, because you don't get very many breaks, and he gave us the chance to all go and recharge a little bit. As disappointed as we was at the results, that was a pleasing performance and one that we can learn from.
Love a recharge. Always love a
Andrew First
recharge.
and Adilson have signed new contracts with the club. I'm just curious what you've kind of really seen from this back four that have been able to start together pretty much throughout the whole season, especially recently, and what you kind of hope to see in terms of if you feel like there's any need for depth in case something happens or anything like that.
Yeah, I just look at the back four at the moment, how they've played this season. They've restricted the opposition to not many big chances, and that's the key to trying to keep clean sheets. It's emptied my pocket somewhat, but it's been pleasing to do that. There's been some really good relationships in that back four as well, and you've had young JP come in at times, you've had Jalen come in at times, and Bill. And these lads are needed as well to keep pushing, the four who are in the team at the moment. And, that's not forgetting the goalkeeper who's, just give an air of calmness to the back four when he has the ball at his feet and with his shot stopping as well.
It's a beautiful thing, the Charlotte FC defense, the organization, and the results. We absolutely love it. Just got to score more goals.
Where you pretty much want it. But the goal scoring has been an issue all season long. Kerwin's had a lot of great chances, but has missed frame. And as a player that you lean on to score goals, and not just him, but as a guy that has those chances and doesn't convert, as a coach, how do you talk a guy through and try to coach him up and maybe inspire him a little bit or give him some confidence so he keeps firing in those chances, because he's getting the chances, but he's not converting. How do you get a guy kind of going?
You just keep working with them, show them, good examples of the best players in the world and what they do and how they do it, and also to remind them as young players that they weren't scoring all of their chances as well. It takes a lot of work, a lot of practice. Like I just said, with Ollie Watkins, he wasn't always scoring goals like that, and 5 years later, all of a sudden he's doing it at the very top level. So it takes practice. It takes incredible mentality to keep going and keep pushing, and that's our jobs as coaches to help them discover that. I think they're getting better. I can see the work that we're doing with them, and it's paying off. We all want it to be done a little bit quicker than sometimes can do it.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mike Solarte. Love you, Mike, with the question. Reading my mind, going straight from the defense talk to the what about scoring talk. And shout out to Dino for reading my mind, because I was going to say, he's like, I try to show him, the great chances of other players around the world, what they're doing. And I was like, well, I hope you showed him that Ollie Watkins goal, because it was a nice one. The vibe is strong here. We're all kind of on the same wavelength on this episode of Decoding the Presser. We love it. Hope you tifos are as well.
In reps, or do you have to work on the mental side, the between the ears side, so he doesn't lose the confidence to draw it back and let it rip?
The thing between the ears is the biggest bit always in any sport. You'll get players who will have imposter syndrome and feel like they don't deserve to be there. You'll have players who, probably feel they're doing better than they are. And, our job as coaches is to, kind of get them on a consistent level of where their workload should be and where their standard should be as well, and keep pushing that. So, for me, the grey matter is the most important thing, and making sure that that's right. Because if you get the grey matter right, you can actually work with the players on technically becoming better, tactically becoming better, and physically becoming better as well.
Has there been
Head games, baby, head games.
kind of a discussion amongst the forwards, because the back end keeps getting wine for clean sheets, but the forwards aren't getting anything? I mean, what, are they revolting for wine on their own?
No, because I've always said you defend from the front and you attack from the back, and I think we got to five clean sheets, and then I brought the whole squad a bottle, so they never got left out.
And then the last one for me.
Everybody's drinking wine. We absolutely love it.
Defending from the front and attacking from the back. From the back starts with Kalina, who's been, I've run out of words to describe him. I mean, how fortunate are you to have a guy back there managing that?
Yeah, really,
so much.
really fortunate. I've come into the club this year and landed on him. He gives an air of confidence. He can have a bite in the dressing room at times as well, to let the lads know when their standards have slipped slightly, which is part of the leadership group, and he's part of that. But what I like to see in a goalkeeper is when you save shots that you should. And that sounds quite a simple thing, but not all goalkeepers do that. And he saves shots that he should, and the ones that he shouldn't, he sometimes saves them as well.
Steve, go ahead.
I love it. I want to be a fly on the wall in that locker room when Kalina's ripping dudes new assholes. I think that would be absolutely insane, because he's very calm, as Dean mentioned earlier in this press conference, but he can definitely get intense as well. I would love to see that when he's having a bite, as Dean said.
Did you have a shopping list?
I went to the game last night, and no, I didn't have a shopping list, no.
Did you have one when you left?
Yeah, there were some good players on show, that's for sure. And it was a thunderous Copa America semi-final. I thought it was 100 mile an hour, and the contrast in some of the games that you see. I think it was 8 minutes on the clock, and I turned around to Christian Fuchs and Parr and said, 8 minutes on the clock, and I think I've seen 12 diagonal balls already, which showed that, Colombia were trying to get in behind a man-to-man marking system, and it was intriguing, that's for sure.
Are there things from like a match, like last?
Dino, reveal the shopping list, please. Tell us. We need to know if James Rodriguez is going to come. That's all I've been seeing ever since Colombia was getting ready to come to town, and the Colombian fans took over the town. It's like, James Rodriguez would look pretty good in Charlotte, and I can't disagree. Like I said, let's go get him. Why not? Dino, let's make it happen, bro.
No, I think there's things that you can certainly learn from every game, and these are two teams. Colombia haven't lost a game for 25, 26 games, I think, which is an incredible record so far.
28.
Is it 28, 29. Uruguay, I've got so much respect for Marcelo Bielsa, who I've come across, against Leeds United a number of times, and the way he gets his teams playing, and they had some big chances in that first half that they didn't quite take, and a couple in the second half as well. So it was really interesting for me to see contrasting styles.
Somebody follow up on the fight here, please.
He's going to go up against Jesse Marsh in Canada, the coach who succeeded him at Leeds. Is there anything in that, or just coincidence?
I think it will be coincidence, but there'll be a lot of Leeds United supporters watching that, interestingly.
And
Nothing is a
just
coincidence.
going in, can you confirm or deny that you've been contacted for the U.S. men's national team job?
No, I cannot confirm or deny. I didn't even know. When did he lose his job?
Yesterday.
It's been a really busy news cycle.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I missed that one, but. Nah. And it just shows you, and I feel for Greg if he has lost his job, because small details probably cost him his job, because the goal was never offside. And I know they still needed to win the game, but the game's different if you're drawing, and he has no control over his player getting sent off in the game. And if the player stays on, they probably win the game and go through. And that's unfortunately football sometimes.
Is that the situation for all coaches, that you can only do so much, that this is more a player's game than a coach's game once the whistle blows?
I think that it's a bit of both. You coach your players. You want them to be disciplined. You want them to be, probably a little bit of your character as a person anyway when they go out on the pitch. But things happen on a pitch that can actually cost coaches, their roles.
Great political answers from Dino there. It's tough for me to believe. Sometimes he's like, there is an all-star game? What's the all-star game? Oh, Greg Berhalter got fired? I didn't even know that. And that's like, I guess I'll take him at his word, but it seems like a guy who's this smart knows everything that's going on. Sometimes I do question if he's just, feigning ignorance on some stuff that just for political reasons, but who knows?
The game next Saturday, you don't have anything like tactics different to stop Acosta and Cincinnati?
Well, we've played them already and played Acosta. You have to be very aware of him. He's had 25 goal involvements already this season, 10 goals, 15 assists, which shows you the calibre of player. But we've played against him already, and I thought we'd done pretty well that day to quieten him down. But we know we have to play exactly the same again to keep him quiet, because he is one of the top players in this league.
And any information?
Ain't that the truth? We got a tall task on Saturday in Cincy.
Right now, so because Ajman got a red card last game, so any difference? Or?
Yeah, we're going to play 5-4-0. We'll have a team set up that we think can go and hurt them, and we've got some players who we believe can go and play as a centre forward and cause enough problems. Cheers, thank you.
5-4-0 from the front. I thought
Vamos Tavares.
Let's go to the Zoom. I've got Carol waiting first.
Hey Dean, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Carol, yourself?
I'm good. I know you mentioned Ollie Watkins. Did you have a chance to send him a message, or is he the busiest man in the world?
He will be the busiest man in the world at the moment, I think, but he'll be sheltered in the camp as well. But yeah, I shot him a message. My wife sent his partner a message as well and got a reply. I told him not to reply to me and just go and get the trophy, and then we can share a drink after that.
Nice.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
Did you sit down and have a conversation with him, and how did that go?
Yeah, had a very brief conversation with him, but he's come back. He looks really bright. He's fitted in straight away. His training kit still fits him as well, and he's been really bright. So I'm happy to have him back.
I guess the fans want to know what number he's going to wear. Has that been determined yet?
Well, I have no idea. I don't even know what the numbers are now, Carol, if I'm honest. If you asked me what Patrick Adjumang's number was, I wouldn't know.
It's 33, Coach. Come on, I know you know
33,
that.
okay.
Lottery ticket.
Yeah. No, numbers have never concerned me, as long as the players are just performing in whatever number they carry.
But you had mentioned aptitude and application are your words for Carol. You feel like he's meeting those so far? So far, definitely.
He looks hungry. We haven't really spoken at length how it went with Verona. But I said sometimes the grass isn't always greener. Come back, come and enjoy yourself, come and score some goals and enjoy your football. And his application, as I said before, and his attitude have been spot on. And looking forward to having him in contention, next Saturday against Austin.
Okay, and finally for me, Junior Urso got that shot. We saw him on the side. Is he
King
making
Carroll is
any
back.
progress?
He's making progress. He's back jogging now. I think he's fairly pain-free now as well. So it'll probably be another few weeks though until he gets back.
Good to hear the juniors on the mend.
Thanks, Carol.
I've got Sam Spencer there too. You got anything there, Sam?
No, Dean, you're off the hook today.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, I got 2 more in the room. Go Steve first, then we'll finish with Will.
Yeah, and you may have addressed this before, but just regarding Cincinnati, did you watch their game against Miami?
I did watch the game against Miami. I also watched their game against New England as well. And obviously we've already played them this season.
But they blew up a Miami team that we had just lost to. How would you describe Cincinnati as a team at this point in the season?
Well, if you go and look at the stats, they probably took the chances that we should have against Inter Miami.
Okay.
I just don't agree with that, but good on him for thinking it.
What do you like about them? What do you?
They've got goal scorers all over along the front three, especially. They've got playmakers. They can build through the thirds. They can go long and go over the top of you because they've got runners as well. So, defensively you've got to be good against them. You've got to keep Acosta quiet, as I said. But as I say, I watched their game, and if we'd taken our chances, we could have won 4 or 5-1 against Inter Miami as well.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Will?
From the
Not
states
true.
involving Carroll, from your conversation, I know you said it was brief, do you get the sense that he's here for now and content to be here, or do you feel like this maybe is a stopover and a wait and see scenario?
I probably don't like the word content. I like the word hungry. Yeah, and I think he's hungry to be here. I think he's got a point to prove, and I like that. He made no secret that he wanted to go back to Europe to have a go, and things. He's ended up back here, so things didn't go as well as he would have probably liked. He got minutes in the Euros, but unfortunately they came out, and now he's got the chance to come back and score goals for us. And I think our fans know that he can go and do that. So we're all excited to see him come back and do that. But he's got a challenge as well because young Patrick's grown since Carroll's gone as well. I can't condone his actions last week with getting sent off, where he stamped on him, but I understand them because I think even the MLS put the clip on their website of him not leaving the field in a timely manner, although the referee's report said he did leave the field in a timely manner, so I don't understand that one. But you saw their player stand on his foot twice on their clip on their website. And I think if he'd have done that to me, I'd have probably chinned him.
God damn, I love Dino sometimes. Perfect answer. Carroll, content is not good. You got to be hungry. Carroll, you're back here because it didn't work out in Europe. Carroll, you can score goals, and our fans need you to do that. Carroll, you got to watch out for Patrick because Patrick has come a long way in the months that you decided to go off on your little holiday. And Patrick, you shouldn't have got the red card, but I probably would have got it too because the guy was stomping all over you before you got caught stomping on him. It's the second guy that gets caught always, but sometimes I quibble with certain things Dean said. I have in this very episode a few minutes ago, but ultimately I just fucking love Dino because he's just so funny and he has the perfect answer for some questions many times, and that was a great example.
My dad says.
Oh, absolutely. Every coach says.
I would have chinned him.
Yeah, as I said after the game, you probably have to learn to fall over sometimes. I didn't think it was a difficult one to referee, if I'm honest, once you see somebody standing on somebody's foot. But it was there for everybody to see on the MLS website.
But when he gets cleanly knocked over, he doesn't get a call.
It's on the website, people.
No, he doesn't. I believe he needs more protection, but it is what it is. And as I say, I can't condone him. He had a red miss moment, and I would have had a red miss moment as well.
Do you think it's a big man thing that he's just, because he's so big that he has a higher bar to clear with the rest for being?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is at the moment. I don't know whether he looks ungamely to the referee, so they don't know whether it's a foul or whether it's just the way he's looking. But he's certainly not been as protected as much as I feel he should do.
Agreed. Yeah,
That's a little bit of an evolution for how Dino had answered that question earlier this year. He kind of did earlier this year say that Patrick's size was kind of meaning that referees didn't know how to ref him. So maybe he's backed off that stance a little bit here. Maybe he had just had higher expectations for Patrick now that we're deeper in the season.
Yeah.
It is just the one game, right?
Yeah, just one game, yeah.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, time and fashion.
All right, we'll wrap up there.
Yeah.
Just the one game for Patrick.
Thanks, everyone.
Not going to be the worst. We will take it. Can't wait to have Patrick back for Columbus, especially in midweek. Rested, raring, ready to go. Pretty good pressers. Congrats to Adil on the new contract. Absolutely love the kid. Love his attitude. Love his fire, his fervor for Charlotte, for the Charlotte fan base, for the Tifos. He's here because of us. He's staying and committing his future long-term because of the development of the team, but also because this is a great place to be, and we can all take a little bit of credit for that. Dino seems confident, seems more focused on our team than their team. Obviously, Acosta's going to be a big ask to stop on Saturday night, but I will be watching. I hope y'all will be watching. Can't wait to see that match and get it'd be nice to get a point. I think a point would be good. So thanks everybody for checking out Decoding the Presser. Always, we love it. Leave comments, like this video. If you made it this far, you might as well just click a little thumbs up. Why not? I mean, you obviously like something. And subscribe and tell a friend to subscribe. Our subscriber numbers are what keep us going and keep us pumped up. So we love y'all. Nobody ever asked Dino about the fight at the Copa America game, and that's fine. It's not really his business, but it was a pretty big story, so I wouldn't have minded hearing at least a little bit of thought on that. Until the next time, it is the Charlotte Soccer Show. I am Danny Brams. Johnny and I will have an episode dropping, I believe, ASAP in the audio feed for y'all, talking about Swiderski being back, talking about Cincy coming up, and Arfield leaving. So look for that. Look for everything. We love you, and as always, it's for the crown, baby.